In terms of attendance, they are baseball's most popular team.
The Dodgers surpassing 4 million fans in attendance in the regular season, first time in franchise history.
So why did the Dodgers, now one of the most valuable franchises in Major League Baseball, leave Brooklyn to find gold in Southern California? It's a complex story that has been misunderstood for decades. In this three-part story, we'll tell you about 4 individuals who were instrumental in the Dodgers' move to LA, names you might not recognize, and why something so unrelated to baseball as public housing was the key to this story. In 1950, Walter O'Malley became the president and majority stockholder of the Brooklyn Dodgers. The Dodgers had broken baseball's color barrier in 1946 by signing Jackie Robinson. Signing other black stars like Don Newcombe and Roy Campanella had helped transform them from lovable losers to annual potential pennant winners.
After 1947, it seemed like the Dodgers were either in the World Series or knocking on the door.
There was just one problem: the ballpark. Built to fit inside the constraints of the streets of Flatbush, it had a seating capacity of less than 35,000.
1950s, Walter O'Malley looking at the landscape, and he realizes even if you improve Ebbets Field, you're stuck in a neighborhood, and there's no chance for expansion.
The post-war boom had many Dodger fans leaving Brooklyn for the suburbs of Long Island. The neighborhood surrounding Ebbets Field was becoming more diverse, but also less affluent. Attendance dropped by almost 1/3. The answer was obvious: build a new ballpark in a new location with more seats and ample parking. But where? O'Malley had his eyes on a plot of land about 1.5 miles northwest of Ebbets Field, now known as Atlantic Terminal.
Atlantic Terminal was the perfect hub. You have access, whether it's through public transportation, whether it's parking. It was the perfect spot.
O'Malley was willing to pay for a new ballpark, but he needed help in acquiring land.
Really, he only needed to impress one person, and that was Robert Moses.
Moses was arguably the most powerful man in New York, not just the city, but the state. In 1950 alone, he held 8 different state or city offices, including New York City Construction Coordinator.
Back in the day, the 1940s and 50s, even going back to the 1930s, you wanted a highway, you wanted some project, you had to go through Robert Moses. And so basically all roads led through his office. And that was really the key. Walter had all the wonderful plans. He had planned this beautiful ballpark in Brooklyn, whether it was a dome, but Moses was not necessarily a sports fan. And so he wasn't impressed, and he didn't see the vision that Walter O'Malley had.
To O'Malley, the location was ideal, located in the heart of Brooklyn near several subway lines, as well as a Long Island Railroad station. Perfect for all the Dodger fans that had left Brooklyn for the Long Island suburbs. To Moses, it was awful. To him, the automobile was the present and future of transportation. Atlantic Terminal was almost 1 mile from the nearest highway. For years, the two men negotiated, trying to find a suitable compromise. Moses was set on a site not in Brooklyn, but the neighboring borough of Queens, where the New York Mets would eventually play. For O'Malley, only Brooklyn would do. To show he meant business, he sold Ebbets Field to a real estate developer in 1956 with a 3 to 5 year lease in hopes of providing time to build a new ballpark.
But at that point, you're at the crossroads, because they've given up on Ebbets Field, they've sold it, they've leased it back, and they're looking for greener pastures. And so finally he had to look elsewhere, because he saw in Moses that was an opponent that he couldn't beat.
In hindsight, O'Malley was right. This is Atlantic Terminal today, now a retail center. But directly across Atlantic Avenue is the Barclays Center, home of the NBA's Brooklyn Nets. In Part 2, we'll show how a 22-year-old city council member plants the seeds for the Dodgers' move to LA, and how Walter O'Malley needs the Giants and Cubs to help make his Southern California dream a reality. Just another part of the LA you may not know.